it was my first day at a national camp in boxing in Patiala. And there were around 60 male boxers all sparring, just kind of training in their training session. And we went in, our whole sports science team went in for a first visit out there basically. And the team kind of was introduced to the physio, to the nutritionist, and then they said psychologist. And then a lot of them kind of had like, the first expression was like, okay, like stay away from her, like, like I'm not going to go to her. She's the last person I want to go to, right? And it was my first visit itself. So I was nervous about kind of, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to get athletes to, speak to me, talk to me. So there was nervousness from both ends. And then one of the local physios from their team came and took me on the side and said, there's this one athlete that I really wanted to speak to, like on an urgent basis, because they're traveling for a major competition, and you need to speak to him because he's just not performing over the last couple of days. And I know something's up, but I know you'll be able to tap in because we can't like get him to speak. And I said, okay, like obviously I had to say, yes, sure, I'll do it. Deep within, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And I step out with the boxer in a more private space where there are not 60 people staring at you. We step out for a walk outside, and we barely take 5 steps into the garden, and there's this big male 60 kg boxer standing in front of you who just kind of bursts into tears. And I was like, I was not expecting that. Like that was the last thing that I was expecting for a sport that is known to be strength, boxing, male, 60 kg guy standing out there in front of you and just kind of, bursting into tears. And I was like, what do I do now? I just allowed him to cry, right? Like that's the first thing I did. And I think going back to what I've quoted in the book, I think that was the moment I realized that Indian athletes need this space, or need this kind of safe space to kind of express their emotions. But also, like as James said, there's a lot of education that went